This is Dr. Dave Maslach talking to you about reciprocity.com. The E is written with a 3. And in this particular video, I want to talk about 5 simple tips for doing well on your graduate school comprehensive exams. So if you don't know me, I'm a professor of innovation strategy and entrepreneurship, and I created this whole reciprocity project to give back as much as I possibly can. There were so many people that helped me out to get into graduate school, and then finally to allow me to become a professor that I want to give back. So I created this whole reciprocity project. So with that, what are these 5 simple tips for doing well at your graduate school comprehensive exams? I think the first thing that I would do, so when I'm talking about comprehensive exams, these are the things that you take usually in your first or second year of your PhD program or graduate school program. It's often offered in a master's program as well, where you have to do some big exam where you study all the things and you do you have to, you're quizzed or you're examined on all of the things that you've done up until that point. So sometimes it's called comprehensive exams, comps, cores, or your oral exam, whatever it is. It comes in different names and stuff like that around the world and different institutions. So for me, I call it the comprehensive exams because that's what that's kind of the norm in terms of what I've heard it called in my field and stuff. So all right, so what are these tips for getting through the comprehensive exam? So the first one is make sure that you spend adequate time studying for the exams. And I'm not talking about spending all of your time studying for the exams, right? That's an important thing. I'm talking about adequate time. So you want to spend just as enough time studying for them, and but no more than just enough, right? So for a lot of us, it was maybe like 6 to 8 weeks to study for these exams. The problem is if you study, and it could be longer for depending on who you are and stuff. So make sure that you use sort of determine on who you are and your sort of level of anxiety that you have. So for a lot of us, and the reason why I suggest this is because you want to spend more time writing and doing papers than doing the whole comprehensive exams and studying for it during your doctoral program, because that's the name of the game, is to write papers and to get research done, and that's how you're actually going to get a job. It's not going to be based on the comprehensive exams in the future. So you need to do enough to do well. And I'm not talking that you are just casually doing it for those 6 to 8 weeks, but I'm talking like serious studying and going and spending all your day going and studying for that material. Okay, so a second thing that I would recommend, so number 2, is to look around you. So once once you've studied for a couple of days on a particular topic, make sure that you can dream up research questions from the world around you using the theories that you're doing. So you want to use the lenses that you're using and look around and sort of explain things around you. And you should be able to do that depending on whatever field you're in. So in my field, it's like organizational theory and innovation and things like that, but maybe you're in chemistry, so you should be able to look around and sort of explain things using a chemistry lens or an engineering lens, whatever it is, and look around you and see if you can explain it. If you can, then you've come a long ways, right? And you want to constantly be doing that. Read the newspaper, read whatever it is, and just see if you can analyze what you're looking at. A third thing that's important for you to do is to create some sort of spreadsheet or a document of some sort. It could be in Word or it could be written down. I used Excel, and I put down all the different theories and views of the world that I could do. And then I sort of plainly write out what are the assumptions of all those different theories and see if you can sort of compare and contrast them. That's really easy question that often gets asked, is thinking about sort of comparing and contrasting different theories. And why do you prefer one theory over the next one? That's an important one to think about, and how you can do that is by simply becoming aware of the different theories. And then you also have to make sure that you are aware of all the different literatures for those theories, at least the important ones that you learned along the way. The fourth thing that I would recommend for you to do is think about how you can tackle the different sets of theories and literatures at a single period of time. So don't kind of read everything all at once. Try to do it sort of sequentially and develop an understanding of what you're doing as you're going through, and try to make sense of it in that way. So you want to cluster these things together and just make sure that you can cover the core ideas in those particular ideas, those particular areas. It's going to be really important for you to go through and make sense of what you're doing, and kind of have a couple of preferences for what you would love to do with your theories, which ones you kind of lean on more, and then dig a little bit deeper in those ones. And then the last thing, so number 5, is for the last couple of weeks, and you should probably do this, is just go through the current articles that are out there and see if you can explain them based on what you know. So read up on the current literature, go through the major journals in your field. So for me, it's like Academy of Management, Organization Science, Administrative Quarterly. Kind of read the most latest articles in those areas. Might be for you in it might be Science and Nature and things like that. Kind of brush up on all that kind of stuff and see if you can explain it using those particular theories of what you learned, and see if you can start finding the different citations and stuff like that of what you learned. So the goal with the comprehensive exams, and what's cool, what happens after comprehensive exams, is that you start to develop a really robust understanding of the literature. And that's one of the cool things that I experienced. It's really stressful when you're doing that and studying it, but once you're done, you look back and you kind of can pull all this stuff together, and you're like, I kind of know a little bit of stuff at that moment. And it's a really neat moment where you look back and you think that you didn't know a lot of stuff, but then you can put it all together and you actually know a lot. And to be honest, you know a lot more than the examiners at that moment, simply because you're kind of very current on the literature compared to the examiners that are thinking about that. So I would honestly think about how you can come up with just a robust understanding of what it is, and you're going to appreciate it a lot. You're going to appreciate the literature a lot more, and appreciate the different ideas a lot more once you sort of really do a deep dive and you spend some time thinking about it and studying for those things. So, and along the way, one last point, sort of a bonus point, along the way, make sure that you are taking notes for your comprehensive exams as you're going through the different courses and things that you're doing. Make sure that you've actually studied this stuff before you actually got there, right? And you're analyzing it, and you have like simple notes on all the different literatures and different papers that you've read, so you can easily synthesize that going forward. It does help a lot when you have this, when you can go through and you don't have to read every single article. Anyways, take care and have a wonderful day. Give me a like if you like this video, and do subscribe to the YouTube channel. Bye. Gotta get that phone.